Here's an air dry clay hack you won't believe. I was asked to create a project, air dry clay in a day. So let me share with you how I shaped and coloured the clay in a day with these cute and easy air dry clay project ideas for you to create at home. Air dry clay is a wonderful and versatile craft medium that I hope you're going to enjoy. Normally we would sculpt the air dry clay and allow the piece to dry for a few days before painting. But we had a project to complete, and with a group of children that needed to sculpt and paint or decorate the clay in one sitting. I had a look through all of my art materials, and these beauties are my secret weapon. Mica powder, which is typically a mineral dust that adds colour and shine to many projects. To help me reduce, reuse and recycle, I'm also going to be using my old birthday cards. And probably not in the way you may think. So this video, like most of my videos, is just to inspire you to be creative. It's me having a play and really enjoying the creative process. So to demonstrate the use of these mica powders, I roll out my air dry clay to about 12 millimeters in thickness. I'm going to be recycling these greetings cards with the help of HTV Ront and the Locklick, the sponsor of today's video. This is the Locklick iCrafter cutting machine. This Locklick craft machine allows me to do so many different projects. It hardly takes up any space at all. It allows us to precisely cut a wide variety of materials like paper, fabric, vinyl and cardstock like I'm doing here, creating intricate designs for stickers, t-shirts, bags, cards, decorations and so much more. I am of course using it for my clay and it's easy to use as all the materials are preloaded as you can see here. We can also scorecard to make our own boxes and also add gold foil. You can upload your own designs or there are many templates for you to choose from within this free software. I'm using the greetings cards as otherwise they would just end up in the recycling, but you can use any blank card you wish. So here I'm cutting myself some templates to use with the clay. Within a couple of minutes my design is fully cut out. These little stars, they're quite intricate, so it would take me quite a long time to cut these with a scalpel. Having a greetings card with a slight sheen on the front actually helps. It just gives that slight protective layer between the wet air dry clay and the card. But don't worry, most card works for this. Placing the template down on my air dry clay, I can roll this over again to hold it in place. And yes, I'm using these so that I can colour the clay. But what's super exciting too, even when you have a template like this, the card, the thickness of the card actually indents the clay really beautifully. This could also be a really great way to transform your air dry clay pieces. And so for now, we are going to break the rules as such, and we've not let our air dry clay dry fully like this piece. We are going to colour the air dry clay now while it is still wet. I always love to get stuck in and use my hands, so I dip my finger into the mica powder and dab this on. Just don't add too much like I did here, there's a little bit excess there. I have a lovely rainbow of coloured mica powders here and I'm dabbing my finger all over the template. Alternatively, yes, you can use a paintbrush to dab that colour on if you don't want to get as messy as I do. The project that we originally did with the mica powder was with this group of children, including 4-year-olds. I gave them some flower templates to cut around and then they were let loose with the mica powder. I'll share with you later how they turned out. I gently blow away some of the excess mica powder, but do be careful you don't want to inhale the mica powder. Always do your own research when using a new material. Very gently I'm teasing up the card so that we can reveal our design. Is it going to be what you're expecting? And there we have it, beautiful. I'm sure your mind is coming up with lots of design ideas right now. Most of the design has come out really well, but there's a slight bit of excess where I put on a little bit too much mica powder. So put enough on, but not too much on. That's the key. Mica powders are really shimmery and gorgeous and a really great addition to our air dry clay. The link to the lock lick and everything else I use in this video are in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, please also comment below. I'm going to cut out some more templates, and of course you can use a craft knife and some card to cut out some templates too. Yes, it takes longer, but there's always options. For what the lock lick does, it really is quite a reasonable price, so take a look at the link in the description below. This is another template out of the template library. It's quite an intricate pattern, but the cutting machine does cut it really well. And this is another one. I do love this one a lot, so let's see how these ones also turn out. Mica powder comes in a huge variety of colours, so really do enjoy the creative process. What would you make first? Let me know in the comments below. I like to reuse the templates again, so I take my air dry clay and dab this all over the templates to bring up all of that excess mica powder, and then I just knead it all back together, and something like air dry clay absolutely swallows up mica powder, and you can actually barely see it in there once it is all kneaded in. Yes, mica powder is a bit messy, and once you get creating with it, it does get everywhere. And I quite like to work with that. And so what I actually like to do best is work with a mica powder base and then go in with a template over the top of that. Working as if we're making a piece of art, dabbing it on, playing, experimenting, and really enjoying the process, not worrying if something goes slightly out of place. I've added lots of colours in and really enjoying this creative process. Yes, the design has come out well. It's not perfect, it's really not, but we're going to work with that, we really are. This is where you can cut out the shape and then maybe put it into a dish and really shape it into a little trinket dish or a bowl. But I'm going to leave mine flat as I'm going to have quite a large coaster that I'm going to use here in my craft room. Then be a bit more creative, add some more mica powders as you wish, dab them on, blend them on. I'm going to add some mica powder around the edge. I'm kneading the leftover clay back together and went to clear up this template to reveal a beautiful design. So that's the beauty about being creative. It can lead to lots of other processes. These are a few of the gorgeous trinket dishes that the children made on our project day, and they all really did have so much fun. We had flowers, shells and dinosaurs, and each one was gorgeous and unique. It took them half an hour to make them. They left them with me to dry, and then all I needed to do was varnish them. You can sand away or brush away any of the imperfections if you wish. Or with this one, I'm just going in with my spray lacquer, giving a really light first coat to not disturb that mica powder. Then after the first coat, I go on and give another coat once it's fully dried. This is white air dry clay and it can discolour when adding a varnish, so do bear that in mind. A second option for sealing these is a water-based acrylic varnish. This can be applied delicately with a brush. I tend to apply the varnish to the bare areas first and then the mica powdered areas. I should mention this is now the fully dried air dry clay. So on day one, we added the mica powders to the wet air dry clay and then we just leave everything. So if you have a project, everybody can do their full creation, then you leave it for however long it takes to dry fully, and then once fully dried, we can seal the air dry clay. If the mica powder has been dabbed on really well, it really does seal quite easily with a paintbrush like this. But if you have an area with a bit of excess, whoops, that kind of happens. So do make sure you blow away any excess mica powder before you add any of the sealant over the top. But really don't worry about any imperfections like this, it really does add to the charm. Just enjoy the whole creative process, and if you do something that isn't quite how you wanted it, just make sure you learn and do something different next time to prevent that and do it the way you would like it. If you get some mica powder in the varnish, just make sure you wipe this off onto a dry rag and then carry on again. If you enjoy my videos, please do make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell button. And there's always that super thanks button, which I'm always very grateful when you click. Thank you. Hopefully this video has got you thinking about lots of different creative projects that you could now create with either a cutting machine like I showed you earlier and with the clay and lots of different craft materials. So it's my aim to inspire you and hope that you also really enjoy your creative time. I like to think there aren't any real hard and fast rules. Be creative, work with what we have, and really enjoy the process. Thank you for watching and check out my other creative videos.